I've argued all these cases at the Supreme Court, but then when I needed a new challenge, another challenge. The Supreme Court case is always a challenge, in case any justice is watching, always a challenge. But I will say this, I think we all need a new challenge. We all need challenges. The challenge that the Lord put on me last year was doing a case at the International Criminal Court at The Hague. There's only been 5. So this was not where you could go to the books and say, okay, how do I, there's not a book on how do I argue a case at the International Criminal Court, because this is only the 6th case. So that was a challenge, and we brought all these young lawyers in, and I saw, with very little books out there about it, very little information out about it, these young people just engaged this challenge, this new approach in chartering into the unknown. Is it healthy? Spiritually, is it healthy? Emotionally, is it healthy? Does God put those in our path so we go uncharted and realize we have to rely on Him, that the books may not have it, that it's Him we're relying on in this?
Yeah, I think it's just so important. You just said it beautifully. Just, you know what, God wants to take you places where you have to trust Him, where you have to kind of like, you get your feet off the water in the ocean. It's easy when you can touch the ground, but when you get out there where you have to just rely on Him. And it's sort of the same thing, Jay, when we were going after the Compact Center, the facility we meet in now, was a city-owned building, and they'd never leased a city-owned facility to a church. And so I'm thinking, God, I think this is what you're saying to us. We're going to move forward, but everybody was telling us it wasn't going to happen.
Right.
And dealing with politics more than me, but you know what? God made a way when it looked like there was no way. But you have to dare to take that step of faith. You have to dare to get out of the boat and keep moving forward.
A friend of mine used the phrase, he said, don't stay in the shallow end. Prepare to swim in the deep end where your feet don't touch the ground. Is that what part of the gospel message is? That we've got to take those risks that the Lord puts out there, even though in the natural, whether it's the Compact Center, whether it's a case at The Hague, whatever it might be, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. But that's the way God is. He told Abraham, go out not knowing where you're going to go, basically. And I think, I say it like this, you got to get out of the safe zone into the faith zone. If you're not using your faith, it doesn't take any faith for me to necessarily speak every Sunday now or to do the things I'm doing now. It takes faith, though, to take another step and say, God, this is over my head. I don't know if I'm qualified. I don't know if, I don't see how it's all going to work out. But, as long as you believe it's God leading you, it takes faith, and it's those risks. We don't want to come back 80 years from now and look up and think, what could I have done if I would have dared take that step of faith?